Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Murdoch DeFi YouTube channel. And in today's video, we are going to do a bit of an update on Stablefund. I know that in past videos when we've talked about Stablefund, I promised that I would continue to update you guys on how things are going for me. So what we're going to do today is kind of reflect on the contract balance, talk about how they've grown for the multiple contracts, BNB, Matic, and BUSD. Also, check out how my stake is going. Quite some developments happen in my own portfolio and how I'm invested in Stablefund since I made the last video talking about what we're going to be talking about today. And then also, too, I want to talk to you how I'm trying to maximize my passive income earnings day to day and I'm able to diversify and grow. And I'm sure that there's people out there that are doing the exact same thing, but I think that it is a valuable topic to chat about. And overall, just kind of let you know what I'm doing, and then of course get any feedback from you guys, the community, on what you're doing to kind of maximize your gains here with this Stablefund app, right? So before we jump into it, guys, if you're not already, please do make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Also, if you could drop a like on this video so that way more people can see this content, I would greatly appreciate it. Super important. Hit that like button. Drop a comment down below if you choose to do so. But let's go ahead and hop into it here. Where is my cursor? There he is. So, hopping over to the stake. I always like to just check out these contracts, see how much Matic is in this contract. $2.1 million in Matic. But since the price of Matic has dropped significantly over the last couple days, looks like we're at about 74 cents per Matic. I think last time I made the video, Matic was up around 94 cents. So almost a 20 cents decrease in the price of Matic. That's obviously going to affect the dollar value in the actual contract balance. However, what we're looking at here is the amount of Matic actively growing in the contract. So almost at 3 million, 2.8 million Matic total in this contract. We can go ahead and check out the BUSD contract. Oops, that's not what I want. And since this is the one that I'm mostly really invested in, is the BUSD, and I'm sure that that's the majority of what you guys are invested in. Obviously, it makes more sense to be in the BUSD because then you're not at risk of the price dropping like you could have experienced over the last week with Matic, right? So BUSD 21, almost 22, going on $22 million in the BUSD contract. So it's growing still pretty significantly day to day, which is good to see. I do know I've spoken with Michael, and well, he's also announced in the Stablefund Telegram they're getting ready, I believe tomorrow, which is Saturday, to have their ad up in Times Square. Now, granted, it's probably I believe I read that the actual advertisement in Times Square is not going to read out that Stablefund grants 1.5%, but still, it will be cool to see that up in mainstream headlines and stuff like that in Times Square. So 21.7 million in that BUSD contract. And then finally, we can go ahead and check out BNB. See how it's doing here. 3 million BNB. And again, 11,100. Assumedly, the price of BNB over the last week has gone down as well. But growth on all three contracts, good to see. Now, I'll kind of jump into how things are going for me. We could jump through the Matic calculator first. Again, Matic is something that I'm not really too much invested in. When I first jumped in, I did jump into Matic, and I believe a little bit of BUSD. But total deposited 2,231 Matic. Claimable rewards. I just compounded before I started this video. In hindsight, I probably should have waited, but that is okay. 33 Matic per day. Switch over to the BUSD calculator, and this is where the large amount of money that I put in. So total deposited, we're at a little over $40,000 in BUSD. Again, I just compounded, so my claimable rewards is low. And withdrawable capital, including all of my available stakes, we got about $2,000, but this is printing me $601.67 BUSD per day, $25 per hour, better than a minimum wage job to do absolutely nothing, and it's absolutely insane. That being said, I also, let me turn that off. I've also recently jumped into the BNB contract just for one BNB, just so that I can have Stablefund printing gas for me, right? I'm not trying to use this as an investment vehicle. This is strictly so I can earn gas for all the transactions that we're doing on the BUSD side, right? So 0.87. I mean, it's negligible, the amount of rewards that we're earning here, but like I said, it's just for gas. Now let's talk about what I've been doing. If we look in particularly, we look at the BUSD side of things. So on September 12th, and then I believe that either that same day or the following day on the 13th, we did an interview with Michael from Stablefund in the Soapbox DeFi, or the DeFi Soapbox, sorry. By the way, if you're not in DeFi Soapbox, I highly recommend joining it. I'll leave a link to that Discord in the description of today's video. But essentially what we're trying to accomplish there is just having a really solid AMA-based Discord community. We try to do, we have been doing giveaways for everybody that shows up to AMAs. So lots of cool stuff. I've been trying to post all those AMAs here on the channel as well. But you're definitely going to want to jump into that server because we're growing extremely fast. I think this is the first time I've really talked about it on the channel in a video outside of just uploading those AMAs. We are just shy of 500 members in that server. So it's starting to gain steam, starting to pick up. Very, very cool stuff going on over there. So September 12th, I put in $20,000. And then right after that, I decided to, I'm already going to lock those funds up. Might as well put a little bit more in. So I put another 10K in. So on September 12th, I put about $30,000 worth of BUSD into the protocol. And what I've been doing, I think that put me at like the 550 mark per day. So what I've actually been doing is taking those profits, and on the first day I would compound those. So you can see here on September 13th, I took those profits from the 24-hour period and I put them back into the protocol. And then the following day, so every other day, I am withdrawing the daily rewards. So at this time it was about $550. And then I was going over to Horde and creating plots. Now, I don't know what you guys feel about Horde. In my opinion, it's kind of challenging. While they've probably been the most successful node type project. However, when we relate Horde and Stablefund together, obviously they're two very different types of protocols. However, for me, I feel like it's important to diversify, right? If we look at Stablefund, personally, I trust Michael. I don't think that he would ever do anything to Rug. Him and I have a pretty good ongoing friendship. And I say all that to say, but how many times have we heard about protocols that were at risk to some type of smart contract attack or something like that, where they're draining contract balances, and that's the only thing that's where I see the risk in stable fund right now. Just like Horde as well, right? Horde's been around for a long time as well, and it's still performing extremely well. So what I've been doing is taking that, $550, it's up to $600 now, but coming in here and using that BUSD to directly buy my Horde plots. So this allows me to diversify and grow my daily passive income, right? So as you can see here, 22 plots, these plots pay out 1% a day. So at the minimum, we're looking at $220 per day coming from Horde. Now, the only thing that is different, well, there's a lot that's different, right? Once you buy a plot, those funds get locked away forever. You don't have access to your initial principal deposit like you would with stable fund. However, Horde has managed to keep the price of the Horde token through their liquidity management at around $100 since the time that they've launched. And I know that they're doing a lot of stuff within the ecosystem to make sure that they can continue to hold that peg. However, at the end of the day, this is in theory, it has a lot of Ponzi-nomics going on in the protocol. So I don't know if it's viable for you, but for me, this is something I got in on day one. As you can see here, my first plot is about 116 days away from decaying, right? So $220, that does not take into account the fact that I have a couple NFTs paired to these plots. So if you go to the NFT marketplace here, you could see that you can get these church squares. They cost 7.5 Horde, $750, but it gives you a 15% rewards boost. This one gives you a 10. This one gives you a 5. And I have a couple of those as well. If we actually look at that, 1, 2, 3, I think that's it. So 3, 10% boost, 15% boost, and a 5% boost. So that's what that looks like. And then also we have these Soul Stones, which they pay out 1%. However, the amount of days that they are around is drastically decreased. And that, for Soul Stones, that costs 5 Horde. So you're looking at $500 there. I guess we could technically count these together and say it's 23 total plots. So $230 here, $600 on stable fund. But this number here is growing relatively fast because between the amount of Horde tokens that all of these plots are creating every single day, by the time I'm actually taking the funds from stable fund to bring over to Horde, I get really close to being able to create a plot every other day, which is very cool, and it's been a substantially quick way to help grow my position in Horde. Now, I mean, it's completely up to you how you choose to go about like your plan of attack when it comes to stable fund. I know a lot of people are just simply compounding every day and then taking profit like on day 7 or once a week or something like that, which is great. And my goal here is to not only mitigate some of the risk that, okay, well, what if in the off chance, right, this is DeFi, everything's risky. In the off chance, what if something happens with stable fund, my $30,000, well, $40,000 at this point gets locked. Well, at least I've been able to diversify and have managed to build up my position over here on Horde. So that way, if I for whatever reason, ever lose that $600 a day in passive income, then at least we've been able to do a little bit over here. Granted, I know that's like worst case scenario, but still, for me, it feels good to know that like I'm not just pulling profits. I'm actually actively investing that money back into another protocol, so then it can continue to make more money for me. So I think that's my goal right now, is just to increase the amount of daily passive income I'm earning. I mean, and then we combine that with OPT. I'm probably somewhere around close to $1,000 a day right now, which is cool, right? Which is great. I think that that's where a lot of people are striving to be, but it took me. It's taken me a while to get to this point. That being said, I'm excited to see how long this goes on for, right? We'll see how long they can sustain that 1.5% daily payouts. But I'm definitely curious to see that, like, what the active, so that when they have like their summit or their meetup, they're going to be doing some live trading with the bot that they use. So definitely be interesting to see how that goes, and obviously, if and when that happens, that's going to be extremely bullish for the platform and help relieve a lot of people's stress, mine included. That being said, guys, I think that's going to about wrap up today's video on Stable Fund, kind of how it's going for me and what's to expect coming in the future, and then also how I'm taking profit and implementing that into a different DeFi protocol to continue to grow my passive daily income. Now you could replace Horde with a number of other solid DeFi projects that are producing right now, but for me, this is something that I've been in since day one, and I think when I started, I had about I think I had 2 plots at the beginning from day one, and have managed to grow. Obviously, I've put some more money into it, but have managed to grow my position to almost 23 total plots, which is about $23,000 actively invest in the protocol. So very, very cool stuff. Very exciting time in the world of DeFi. While the overall macro market is tanking right now, yeah, we're under $1,300 ETH, $18,900 Bitcoin. So it's super great to see this and being able to participate in stuff like this. I will mention that I'm not withdrawing any of my stakes. I'm just letting them sit so that way, again, I can continue to grow the number that is important to me, and that is this daily payout of BUSD. That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. Happy Friday, and we will catch you on the next one.